the plan for today is similar to what we used to do in the previous meetings, in the previous labs. So we shall start with an introduction, and the topic for today are games or gamification in education. So after the introduction, this will be followed by the theory part, which is also recorded. And then after the break, we shall do some practice. And yeah, as a warm-up, we should play a game. So yeah, share the screen. So yeah, everyone will roll a dice, and whatever number you hit, yeah, this question you answer, and the questions are listed in the chat. Yeah, so you may have a look in the public chat. There are 6 questions, and yeah, so which number you hit, this number is your question. So who wants to start? You can tell me. I will roll the dice for you.
I can start if no one else is willing to.
Okay, Kudruta, rolling the dice for you. So your question is 5, and question 5 is,
what sports are popular in your country?
Yeah.
I suppose football is the most popular sport in our country, and I would add, I don't know, I think basketball.
Okay. And your team, are they good at, I mean, your national team, are they good at football or volleyball?
So maybe Sandra will help me. I'm not much into football. Not that good. So and so. Pretty good. I don't know.
Okay. And any sports that you like particularly?
I like basketball. I like swimming. Skating. I like skiing a lot. Can you hear me? I think I've lost connection or something.
No, I can hear you. I think Isabella lost connection.
Okay. Yeah. She is iced.
So now do we have to end the session and start it again, or just waiting?
No, počkej, ti dám nahlas, jo? Vydrž.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I got disconnected. Can you hear me right now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I will be switching my camera off because I'm not going to risk that it happens again. So yes, yeah. So we stopped at Kodruta, and this was question number 5. So yeah, let me show it again. So who would like to continue? Georgi, will you?
Yes, okay, it's not a problem.
I'm rolling the dice for you. So the question is 2.
Have you ever won anything? I think that once I won 50 cents from the lottery in Bulgaria.
50 cents?
Yes, and that's the only thing I have ever won.
Okay. Well, at least that's something. And yeah, any competition maybe, or any other?
Like from between the first and third place, I don't think so.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. And who wants to go next? Sanda, will you? Okay, I cannot hear you, but I'm rolling the dice for you. It's 6, so you have a bonus. So you can pick a question or you can ask a question to us, but we cannot hear you. So you would have to write it on the chat or... Okay, so we'll wait for Sandra to write her answer. And Rosa, shall I roll the dice for you?
Yes,
Okay.
please. Yes.
So yours is 4.
Oh, 4. 4. What games are popular in my country? So football for sure. Canoeing and swimming, I think.
Okay, canoeing and swimming. And how about games? I mean, not only sports, but also, you know, do people play cards, for example? Or...
Oh, yes, mostly old people.
Okay.
They get together in parks, in big cities, and or associations, social associations, and they play cards.
Okay. And chess, is chess popular?
It's not very popular. There are still people that play cards with friends, and sometimes board games at home.
Okay. All right, thank you. And Svetoslav, if that's fine with you, I will roll the dice for you. So yours is 3.
3 is... Which 3 teams do you support in the World Cup?
Yeah.
I don't usually watch soccer, so I'm not sure even who is still playing.
Okay.
So I don't know. I can just take
Okay.
3 countries at random, but I don't support anybody.
Okay, so you don't enjoy watching football, you mean, or you don't?
No, I don't watch any sports.
Okay. And do you do any sports or?
No.
No, not really. Okay. Thank you. Fair enough. It may happen. I don't understand football at all. Yeah. So yes, I mean, I understand that people, want their national team to win, but it's okay. And Irina,
Ours just don't participate. Otherwise, I would say Bulgaria, but.
Yeah. Well, Poland is not playing either. Yeah. So. And if I were to support, I would support those teams like, you know, you have Curaçao or Capo Verde because, you know, they are so lucky to be there. And I also like the team of Japan. Yeah, I like them very much. So yes, and they played very well, I think, in their first game. So why not? And I don't know about Irina and Zdenek, and if you have guys.
Yes, we are in, but actually I don't know or we don't know about what's happening. I understand you rolled the dice, but I don't know the rest.
Yeah, so I'm rolling the dice for you, and there are 6 questions on the chat. So now the first question is for you, and this question is, what is your favorite game? So
my favorite game? You mean like a board game or sports game or
any?
Any. Actually, I don't like board games. And well, the game like playing sports, which is probably volleyball.
Okay, but do you actually play or do you like?
For me, it's football. For the whole of my life, I prefer football.
Yeah, and which teams are you supporting, Zdenek, in the World Cup?
Czech Republic today.
Yes, of course. But apart from that,
South Africa. So.
Sorry.
Today we are playing against the South Africa. So.
Okay. Naturally. And apart from Czechia, which other teams, national teams, do you support?
Kromě Čechů, koho?
Maybe Barcelona, FC Barcelona or Manchester City.
Okay.
I'm not a real fan of these 2 clubs, so I only follow the results and so on.
Okay. So thank you guys. And one question for everyone: who do you think will win the World Cup? if you were to gamble, which team would you think is the winner this year? Is going to be the winner?
Kdo vyhraje? Pro všechny otázka. Kdo vyhraje mistrovství? Difficult question.
Yeah. And some people gamble, yeah, they will just...
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Maybe
Yeah.
England.
England. Okay, we shall see then if it is England, yeah. Georgi, what do you think?
I don't know. I will say France.
France. And Kodruta?
France.
France.
Okay. I have no idea, so I haven't really thought about it. I hope Japan will win, but I doubt it. I doubt it will happen. I mean, they
I
are...
say England as well.
Sorry?
I say England as well, but
England.
again, I'm not a fan, so I really don't know.
Okay. All right, so that's for the introduction. I will now, I think recording was switched on by mistake, so they will cut it out. Never mind. I will continue with the theory, I'll talk a bit more about games. This part is not interactive, so if you wish to switch your camera off, that's possible at that stage. And after that, we should take a break and continue with the practice and practical exercises. Okay, so just a moment. Let me start with the theory. So obviously, if you think about games and if you think about learning, this is something that has been quite a topic in education. For a number of reasons. Of course, games are attractive. Some people, not everyone, as we could hear in the introduction, but most people, and also young learners, they would enjoy playing games. This increases the motivation. It makes it more engaging. Some people are really motivated by competition. They want to be, in that environment that allows them to really have this emotional engagement and be active. The chances are then that if you have emotions, and we hope these are really those pleasant emotions, also the material or whatever is learned or trained will be remembered better. So whatever emotional impact it has, it increases the chances or probability that more information or more knowledge or more skills are retained. Of course, there are different kinds of games, and we talked a little bit in the introduction about sports and about, for example, board games. We have also computer games, and a lot of them can be played in teams. So this obviously is an important part of education. So apart from learning whatever knowledge, whatever material we have in the course, in the subject, the chances are this is an opportunity for students, for learners to really cooperate, to see how other people behave, what they know, how solving problems is approached, and so on and so forth. So it's also about those social and interpersonal skills. And depending obviously on how the game is used in education, we have this problem-solving skills. We've got the space for creativity that can be learned and trained apart from the course content. So this is, those benefits, I suppose, are obvious. And now the question is, okay, what makes games? So what kind of attributes, what kind of features, what kind of, let's say, characteristics of games can we talk about? And each of them will be something that can be used in the classroom. So first of all, yes, we have got this picture with and we had this exercise with rolling a dice, there is this element of randomness, yeah, or luck, as you may call it. So this is something that that is an important part of the game. Yeah, it's I roll a dice, and it's the fate that decides which question I will answer. So this is one important element. Apart from this randomness or lottery element, we also have the element of risk or stakes. So if we were to play in a casino, of course we have to make decisions. Yeah, is it what do we risk? What kind of decision we take? There is something on the table. Yeah. And we can play, of course, with other teams, as mentioned previously, but also we can play against the casino. Yeah, so we can have a challenge, kind of task that will be just, trying to see how the system works and make the best out of it. So there is this element of there's an element of risk, yeah, and related decision making. Some games are simple and some are more complex. So if you think about games that involve some kind of strategy, planning, again, taking decisions, balancing certain things, this makes games more complex. And also, if we adopt this kind of game, then there is more potential for using it for education. So for example, Monopoly also has this element of randomness, because we have got cards that and we also roll a dice, but also we have this element of decision making and planning. So this is another element, and if we talk about computer games, but also some board games, they create, there are certain words in themselves. So there is this new reality, this whole world. So if I play it, I have to think ahead. All my decisions have consequences, and also the creators of the game, they have to think about every part of it. So what is this going to be about? What is the story behind? What is this word? What are the elements? In all the aspects of visuality, sounds, if you think about modern computer games, they will have a lot of elements to it. So it's the vision, it's the sounds, it's the story behind. These are tasks or quests, so quite a number of elements to it. And similarly, some board games, they will require this creation of the word. And finally, there is, of course, this element of fun and entertainment. So playing a game is supposed to be attractive. It may be also, we are going to talk about the use of classroom, but there is this element of fun, just doing something for pleasure, which also is sometimes is needed in the classroom as well. If we think about sports, and also some of the games that we have seen the examples of course, each game should have a goal. It has an objective. It may be as simple as hitting, getting as many points as possible. It may be winning against another team or some other, but the goal is very clear. And similarly in education, the game, we are going to talk about it a bit more, but the goal is not, the game itself. It's of course the educational purpose, but we can use the objectives of the game as well. Some games require a lot of skills, and especially if you think about sports. So it's not only about being skillful, and being able to sort of, for example, physically perform certain things, but it's also about, for example, being patient, or managing stress, or plan ahead, as we had mentioned earlier. There are certain games and there are certain sports which have a specific dress code, and there are special unwritten, very often unwritten rules of fair play, which brings us to also maybe discussing some of the values, the topic that we had covered in the previous laboratory. Yeah? So there is, a lot around the game as well. Yeah, it's not only about winning, it's not only about rules, but of course we have those elements around, and sometimes they are very interesting to discuss. Yeah, some case studies about ethics, about behavior, about what is right. Also about I don't know, some players with difficulties. Lots of possibilities here. And last but not least, we have also this element of rewards. Yeah. So right now we have the World Cup, the tournament that has also this big reward in the end, and we have this element of competition, of national teams, and strategies, everything around it. So this is also an important part of games. And if we were to summarize it, whatever I have covered is listed in the slide. So we have this element of things being random, an element of risk, different levels of complexity. We also have some stories, and if we have the word like in role-playing games, we've got choices, we've got consequences. There is an element of creativity when we think from the other side, so designing a game. Obviously, it's all about fun, and it's also about fun and entertainment, or in education not only. It's also about goals and the opportunity to practice very different skills, not only something which is directly required in the game. And finally, if there is a game, if there's a competition, there are also rewards. And very often, if I play a game with my students or in trainings, the natural question that comes up is, okay, and what is the reward? What do I gain? What do I get? And now, how do we use those games in education? So here we've got quite a number of possibilities. So as simple as assigning tasks or questions, this could be done at random. So it's not me as a teacher that selects the question. It's not the student either, but it's it's the lottery. So whatever we played in the beginning of this laboratory, this is exactly what may happen. It may also be the case for some tests. So okay, I'm not being unfair by any reason, because there is a list of questions, or there are those topics, and this is how we pick them. It's just the lottery. Yeah. So this is one option, very simple, or the simplest. Yeah. We can also adapt existing games. So whatever game we have, is it some sport, or is it cards? Maybe the concept of a casino, or some simple games, they can be adapted for educational purposes. Obviously, this content, the material has to be there, and it's something that needs to be incorporated in the game, unless we just use it as a kind of maybe warm-up exercise or energizer. If it's a short game, of course, this is also something that you could use, just to raise the energy levels for the students. So that's another option. Yet another is structuring learning as a kind of a journey, or as a kind of a game where you can get some points, score some points, and get some rewards. Yeah, they don't have to be material rewards. They can be some points that can be then translated into some maybe small prize. But the idea is that I collect certain points, and they also see my progress. Yeah, so just to mimic some of the, let's say, applications or some of the systems that motivate and discipline people by, you know, seeing how well they have scored. This is something also that could be used and you might consider. Yeah, so whenever I learn something, I get a reward, or if I, you know, spend some time doing something, yeah, I get a point. Yeah, and if I have the result, I get a point. This also helps to see the progress and trace and track the achievements for students. If it's done online, yeah, it's a bit easier to do, maybe a bit more challenging in traditional classroom. Yeah. So yes, those badges, those achievements, they are also an important part of, you know, of seeing how well I am doing. And also with students who need frequent feedback, this could be, you know, something that they could sort of appreciate as a kind of, you know, moment or element of, you know, being rewarded or having achieved something, you know, having done or having completed some part of the tasks or some part of the material. So levels and progressions are also about that. Yeah. So in computer games, you might have different levels. Yeah. And it might be also an idea to have those levels. Okay, if you have learned or if you have demonstrated this and this skill, you are on this level. If you want to get to another level, you have to do this and that. And also this is something that might support the progress and also motivation for students. You could design the game yourselves as teachers, but this is also an option to design a game themselves. Yeah. So they might take inspiration from their favorite games and design something, or we could use bits and pieces, some elements of the game they like, that they would like to design. So I'm thinking of examples. For example, I don't know, if I teach history, I could, you know, encourage students to create the word in some time in I don't know, for example, medieval times or 18th century, or take one of the wars, and, you know, using that information, design a game, or, you know, make a design of the word. Yeah. So who would be, you know, where would it take place? Yeah. What would be the location? What kind of surroundings? What kind of characters? And what would they like to achieve, for example? Similarly, we have this idea in computer games of challenges and quests. So yes, I'm in search for something. It might also have the format of escape room. So I have certain missions to complete, and yeah, a kind of quest or adventure to go through. A challenge may also be understood as something that, you know, you have to do for example, throughout a certain time. So this is also maybe not inspiration from games directly, but from social media. So you have a challenge, yeah, for example, on Instagram for 30 days, yeah, you should do some task, yeah. And each day has a theme, for example. And you could ask also students to design this kind of challenge also. They could, you know, provide the cues and the contents for the challenge. Yeah, and it doesn't matter if it's chemistry class or language or maths, for example. So every day, you know, it's about doing something and posting it, maybe even in social media. Of course, you know, this requires some effort when it comes to monitoring and checking if this is really going in the right direction, but it builds discipline. Yeah, so you know, in certain ways, even if I do a little, I do it every day. Yeah, so this is also about this skill of you know, being you know, planning my learning or doing my work in a rhythmical way. Yeah? So each day there is something new. Maybe it's small, but I have to do it to complete the challenge. And of course, we have you know, a lot of inspiration from games and sports. So yeah, it could be whatever game, whatever sport, and this can be used in a variety of different ways. Yeah, so I could use it as a kind of background, yeah, to prepare a role play for my students. I used, to give you an example, I used snooker in one of my conflict resolution role play scenarios. So I have the mediation exercise. So there are 3 organizations related to snooker, and there is some amount of money on the table, subsidy, and the task is to divide the money between those 3 organizations. And there is also the role of the chairman of the committee, and this person has the role of the mediator. So students would work in groups of 4, and the task is to divide the money so that every organization agrees. And okay, they play to complete the game, but they also compete with other groups. Yeah, so it may happen that there is no agreement, and the money, the subsidy is not divided, and it's a lose-lose situation. But there might be also different approaches how this is done. Yeah. So yeah, this is just the background. I mean, it has nothing to do with playing snooker. Of course, we just have a short discussion on what this game is about, but this is just to provide the background, yeah, to make it more realistic rather than just saying, okay, you've got some money and divide it, yeah, in between 3 abstract organizations. So yeah, whatever game, whatever sport comes to your mind, this can be used, especially if your students are interested in that. So hence my question from the beginning of the class, if there is something that the learners can relate to, it may make it, maybe easier or more interesting for them. So what you can see in the slide are some examples of the games that I used during different classes and for different courses. So what you can see on the left here is kind of mix between Monopoly and Pachisi. So this is actually the game that was designed and prepared by the students of management, and what they did, they created this board. And yeah, this is we played on the floor in the classroom because it's so huge, so they prepared it. There is a dice, and they even prepared this huge dice made of styrofoam. You play yourself, so there are people walking around the board. And if you hit on the question mark, there is a question that you have to answer. And those questions they prepared themselves as well. Yeah, so this was a group of students that they prepared it, and we played it. This can be used for, of course, different courses, different subjects. A similar idea is the board game here, yeah. And this was the board was prepared by myself, but the questions, and we have those suns and whatever. I have those red arrows. So if you stop on that field, you have to answer a question. Yeah, so there is some vocabulary, and this is prepared. The vocabulary tasks were prepared by students. Yeah, so again, you roll a dice and you have to complete, let's say, the race here. You play against other players, but if you don't answer correctly, you have to go back, right? So this is very simple and can be adapted for different subjects. So elements of competition, I use it very often, somehow, even for simple tasks. So, a simple question like, so let's see who can come up with more, ideas for something, yeah, or who can come up with more synonyms of the word, or who can come up with more, creative solutions for something. This is also an element of that. And even if I don't have the prize, this also motivates people, to think harder. So this is also an element of the game. So that's about the, let's say, the possible applications. Of course, there are many more. we can have the support of technology, something which we are going to discuss in the last laboratory. Those games, especially if you think about some escape rooms, or some also quizzes, some interactive forms, they can be done online. So this is also possible. Here, what I have shown are the traditional classroom games. Of course, one has to be careful. So there are certain attention points if you think about games in the classroom. So yes, what has already been mentioned earlier, the real objective is learning. So the game is not the goal in itself. Yeah, of course, some short game, as I mentioned earlier, so as an energizer or warm-up activity is fine. But okay, if I design something, or if I ask students to design something, obviously what I have in mind is that it should support the learning, and not the other way around. Yeah. If there is this element of competition, and especially rewards, it's good to be very clear about the rules. Some people like to win very much, so it might also be difficult, let's say, emotionally, if they lose. So yes, I would say do be careful with also prizes. Yeah, they should be really symbolic rather than something really specific. I would also be careful with grades. So I would not relate them one-on-one to the results of the game. Yeah, it may not always be fair. So here's also another attention point. Yeah, so it may happen that the team that loses, they have really demonstrated a lot of effort and progress, and just before they lost doesn't mean that they should be punished with a lower grade. Yeah, it is good to provide feedback or build or construct the game in such a way that this supports students on the way, and so that they don't follow the wrong path, so to speak, right? So if I have a bigger task, something more complex for them to think about, then it's good to be there and to supervise it, because if I ask them to create some fictional world based on, for example, some historical period, and they get it totally wrong from the beginning, obviously this is counterproductive in terms of educational results. Yeah. Having said that, of course, students ideally should have some autonomy as to what to choose and how to do things, also to allow them to practice productivity. Yeah. So yes, games are okay, but let's be careful about them. And we are going to practice. The first exercises will be a short discussion about how your experience has been so far with using the games in the classroom, and if there is something that you might get inspired through. The second exercise will be about some in-class activities that use the concept of the game or its elements. And we have a list of games to choose from: chess, Scrabble, charades, freeze dance, domino, rock, paper, scissors, and jigsaw puzzle. And this will take 40 minutes. And then we will do some brainstorming about ideas that you could give to your students. So what kind of games they could be requested to design. And finally, we should discuss the possible inspirations from the World Cup.